Alright, people, with this propane tank and this propane single burner, man, I think it's been, let's see, it's been like 27 days since I've been camping and using it. And this is the single burner. I'll show you again. It's called, I guess it's called Co-Camp. It was only like $30 to $40, and it came with this one. You can buy longer. It came with the attachment to the propane tank, but you can buy longer ones too. And I got the Flame King propane tank, and it came with this gauge. Oh man, it came with this gauge. And since I just moved it, it was reading, it was only a little bit down. These gauges, you see that gauge wiggle when I move it. It was only like a little bit down on the green, and then I just moved it, and it went further down, not way down, but it's only about, and there was about 4.3 or 4.4 pounds in this 20-gallon propane tank. That's all it would take. Again, it's a 20-pound propane tank, but they only take like 4 to 5 pounds. And sometimes less. One guy told me when I was filling it up, they might only take like 3.8 sometimes, depending how much air is in the propane tank. I'm still learning about this, but I don't know, if there's a way to get the air out. It seems like the most you'll get is 4 point something in there. But yeah, that's all I used right there. I'm not eating the yellow. Once you get into the red, then it's going to run out, I guess. They say these gauges don't last. So I buy extra gauges. Unless you don't need one. I only got one propane tank. And my first time using these by myself. So I'm going to check out how it is. But in the future, I'll get another one. So if one runs out, I could just pop the other one in. I won't really need the gauge. I'm glad I got the gauge. I could see. So 27 days. Now I only use it. The most I use it is like if I'm going to cook up, I get a pound or two hamburger meat for a week to like 10 days. If it's only a week, usually I'll get a pound of hamburger meat. Or it depends what I'm eating. If I'm eating tacos and burritos, my rice and beans for breakfast and dinner, and then, sometimes lunch. I don't always eat lunch though, or I'll get some snacks. Then I'll get probably 2 pounds. But if I'm only eating it with my breakfast burritos, because I'll use about 3 to 4 scoops of hamburger meat with a spoon, I'll just get a pound if I'm just eating it in the morning. But if I'm going to be eating it with some of my food at night, like sometimes I'll eat hamburgers at night or spaghetti. And if, depending how much money I have and how much room I got in my cooler, sometimes I'll throw hamburger meat in the spaghetti sauce, but a lot of times I don't. So when I'm cooking up that pound or 2 pounds of hamburger meat, I don't know, it takes like 5 to 10, it takes like 10 minutes. Or when I'm boiling my noodles for spaghetti, usually I'll boil a bunch and just bag some, like a full pot. So I'll have like 2 to 3 dinners or 3 to 2 meals. Oh man, my allergies were messing with me last night, this morning. But yeah, a lot of times I'll just cook a full pot of spaghetti noodles, or like three, you know, or like a half a box, or maybe 3/4 sometimes of these one boxes. I guess it's not a full pan, the pan I got. So I'll have a few meals, and then that way I could just throw the noodles in the pan when I want to eat them. Well, when I cook them, I'm going to eat one meal of them right there. They'll be warm, but the others I'll bag and put in my cooler, and I'll just take them out, throw them in the pan, and throw the spaghetti sauce in there and warm it up. And that way it's ready to go. Save on propane, because if I cook a batch for each meal, a small batch for each meal, it's going to take a lot more propane. So I cook in bulk, bag it, and then I just warm it up in my pan. I don't like microwaves. Even if I have a place, I rarely use a microwave. I rather just warm it in the oven or pan. And also, I don't eat much macaroni, but sometimes I was eating macaroni when I cook those noodles, and then so that's big. And then rice, yeah, when I'm boiling rice, I'll boil it for like 5 minutes, depending if I want some. I'll boil a big old pot and then bag it, so I have it for meals. I can just take like 3 to 5 scoops of that rice and throw it in with my meat and beans and a little bit of water in a pan and just warm it up, and I'm good to go. So that takes, and usually I try to time it like if I'm going to do a pan of rice, I'm going to be eating a meal right then, I'll boil the rice for like 5 minutes and I'll put a cover on it, put it to the side, let it cook. Now, like if I'm in the morning cooking eggs, I'll cook my eggs and I'll heat up my hamburger meat and beans and whatever rice I got left, if I got any left. And then when I'm done with that, I'll put the rice back on the burner before I shut it off, boil it for another few minutes, and then let it set. But if I'm just cooking it by itself, I'm not eating a meal, just to have ready for meals. Yeah, I'll let it boil like 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'll just turn the thing off and just set it to the side, and I'll finish cooking. I'll just add water when I need to. But so usually in the day, and heating up my tortillas. Sometimes I'll heat up my corn tortillas if I eat them too. So if I'm not cooking a big pot of rice or a bunch of hamburger meat or boiling a bunch of noodles, I only use it for a few minutes when I'm heating up my food and maybe heating up the corn tortillas. So I don't use a whole lot of propane each day. I mean, if you're using this to heat up your van and stuff, or your RV with a buddy heater, whatever, you can go through a lot. But if you're real conservative, man, propane can last. And on that gauge right there, shake your propane tank so it'll give a true reading of what it is. Because for the longest time, there was just a little bit down. And I thought, man, I was like, man, this is really lasting. Because I just went and filled up my water, did my laundry, and I didn't think I'd have filled up my propane tank. But now I shake it, it went down more, but it'll be enough for as long as I'm camping here. And I got my gas grill too if that runs out. But these things are awesome, people. And I would buy a good propane tank, and don't buy those ones where you can go switch them out like a U-Haul or Walmart or, you know, a Circle K or whatever, because when you're switching them out and stuff, other people, it could be a real old propane tank. Other people can be abusing it more, and it could be messed up and be leaking. I heard one story. This guy, he filled up his propane tank. I don't know if he switched it out or filled it out, but he got back to his place. He put it in his trunk. Got back to his place, opened it up. It blew up and killed him. So just hang on to your propane tank. Once it's good, it's not leaking, and check if it leaks once in a while. That's what's good about having a gauge too. If it's going down a lot faster, or you haven't been using it's going down, you got a leak probably. But yeah, I would just get my propane tank, a brand new good one, or however many you're going to get, and then I would just go get it filled up. I wouldn't do the exchange thing, because people, man, some people take care of their stuff. Other people, you don't know what they're doing with their stuff, man. They're just abusive with their stuff, and you do not want a propane leak from your propane tank. Whatever you do, that's not a good thing. That you gotta get that fixed right away.